Good morning, everyone. Let us start with day 36 of our regular SAP FICO session. Today we will discuss about creations of some additional master data that are required from our cost component structure. So until now we have designed our cost component structure wherein we say that there are material costs, there are indirect material cost, there are operation cost for labor, machine, energy, there are other costs for repair and maintenance, research and development, quality, and some other costs would be for subcontracting, external processing, additive cost, etc. So in order to achieve these cost components, we already have created some of the GL accounts that were required to create the cost component itself. But apart from those master data which were already created, that you can see over here, the GL account, the activities, the cost element group, the cost centers, profit centers. Apart from these, there are some additional master data which need to be created. So we need to also create the master data for activities which are for indirect material, machine and labor. As you see in our cost component, the indirect material we are trying to bring by template allocation. So for template allocation we will need the activity master for this. Similarly, labor, machine and energy also we are bringing by routing. For this also we need the activity master. But for energy, as you see below, we have already created in our last session. We have already created the energy activity group. So we are remaining with indirect material, labor and machine. So these three activity masters we have created, and apart from this we need some expenses GLs to post the depreciation, salary, the cost of indirect material, the repair cost, the quality cost, the research and development cost. So you'll be receiving the invoice from the suppliers for all these except the depreciation. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. So for posting all those expenses against those invoices, we will require one GL account. Those GL accounts we have to create. These are all dependent upon our cost component structure. Since we had these components in our cost component structure, we have to create the GL accounts as well. The next thing is we thought of bringing the repair and maintenance cost, quality cost and R&D cost, research and development cost by the costing sheet, which you can see over here. These three we thought to bring by costing sheet. So if are bringing by costing sheet, then we need to have corresponding cost centers as well, because initially those expenses will be booked in the respective cost center, and from there the values will be picked and booked into the production orders when we create it. What I mean to say is, let's say I have a cost center R&M. So when I get the invoice related to repair and maintenance, I will book it in the repair and maintenance. So it is plus. Now when I have the production, when I do the production by the production order, then I consume this raw material, this repair and maintenance cost for production, and then I have to allocate this 1000 repair and maintenance cost to my product, for which there will be a minus posting of 1000, and from which cost center? From this particular cost center, repair and maintenance. So this is the concept. That is the reason we will need three cost centers for repair and maintenance, quality and R&D each. So let me just log in into the system and show you how I have created those and what are the input parameters that are required to create those. To create the activity you use KL01. I have already created, so this display I am using KL03, and my controlling area is RCIG. Activity type, let's say labor. So you give the validity start date, the description, in what unit you want to measure the labor activity, labor hours, and what cost centers this activity can be utilized by. So I am putting all the cost center categories can utilize this. The activity category you have to put one, that is manual entry and manual allocation. The allocation cost element, this we get from our day 35. As you know, in day 35 for the labor we have set up this particular GL account 943,002. That is what we have assigned over here. Similarly, the price indicator for plan is 1 and for actual is 5. So this way you set up the activity master. This is for labor. Similarly, you have to set up for machine and indirect material as well. Next is creation of the primary cost element. Let me show you one of those which I have created. Go in FS00. Under the expenses, we have depreciation primary cost element. So as usual, you select the primary cost or revenue and your account group for the expenses. You give the short text and long text. And here basically you select the short key as 001, which is the posting date, and you have to give the cost element category as 1 for expenses. And here we have given G003, that is the material consumption, but this is not the correct one. Let me just modify this. So it is a general cost, right? G001 I am putting as general, and then I have to make modification of in all those. So changing the field status group for all those GL accounts which I have newly created, as I shown on the Excel sheet. This is created. Okay. Now, apart from this, as discussed, we will also need three different cost centers to capture each of those kind of expenses which form part of the product cost, and those are brought by the costing sheet. So let me show one of the cost center that I have created. The T code to create is KS01 and to display is KS03. So I am showing you for a repair and maintenance, wherein you have to give the validity date, the name and description, who is the person responsible, what is the cost center category. So I have chosen the service category, and the cost center standard hierarchy that we created during the creation of the controlling area, and the mapping profit center. So this is how you create the cost centers. So along with the master data that we created during creation of our cost component structure, we required some additional master data. So those we have created today as part of day 36. With this I am closing for the day. We'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you.